All right, good morning, and thank you all. I was going to say thank you all for braving this weather today, but my namesake Hurricane Barry has listened to me, and I think it's the ruminants have left. So my name is Barry Beckton, and I'm with Diageo Corporate Relations. Thank you all for joining us here today. We are thrilled to be here in Marion County, the heart of bourbon country, celebrating the groundbreaking for the new Diageo Lebanon Distillery. The history and tradition of bourbon distilling in this county, legal and maybe sometimes not so legal, is legendary, and we are honored to become a part of that heritage. We'll have a brief program. I guess I shouldn't have challenged the hurricane. We'll have a brief program this morning to discuss our plans and our commitment to the community with comments from some of our Diageo executives and local officials. We are fortunate to have many community leaders here today. Senator Jimmy Higdon is here. Senator Higdon is one of the biggest proponents of bourbon in Frankfort. Thank you, sir, for everything you do to help promote our industry. And of course, we have leaders from the Industrial Foundation and city and county governments, including Mayor Crenshaw and Judge Daugherty, Tom Lund, all of whom you'll hear from shortly. I know there are many others here who have been involved in getting us to where we are today, and we appreciate the efforts of everyone in this community who has made us feel so welcome. Today is a celebration and the start of a great relationship, and I look forward to many more opportunities for us to celebrate Marion County and the Diageo Lebanon Distillery. After this program, we'll do a quick photo op with shovels. But while that is going on, please be sure to stick around and take a look at the renderings if they're still standing. And be sure to enjoy a bullet cocktail as well as some of the great refreshments supplied to us by Smokey D's. Now that we have this housekeeping out of the way, I'm honored to introduce our first speaker. It's the president of Diageo's North America Supply Operations, Eric Snyder.
Well, good morning, and thank you, Barry. It's wonderful to be here in beautiful Lebanon, Kentucky. On behalf of Diageo, I want to thank all of you for coming out today to help us celebrate the milestones of this groundbreaking of our new distillery here in Marion County. As you may have heard, Diageo is a global company, and we sell products in over 180 countries around the world. While we are proud of all of our brands, there's no doubt we are particularly fond of our American whiskeys and our Kentucky bourbons. These are led, of course, by our biggest bourbon, Bulleit. But we also have some other gems in our portfolio, Blade & Bow and I.W. Harper to include too. And it's exciting to think that bourbon that will be made here, where we are standing, will eventually be sold in those 180 countries around the world. I think that's pretty exciting to think about 5, 6, 7 years down the road. We've been operating in Kentucky for some time now, whether it's the Cathedral Bourbon in Sitzeweller, Louisville, or whether it's our Bulleit Distilling Company in Shelbyville, Kentucky. We have many of our employees and our brands are proud to call Kentucky home. In fact, we believe so much in Kentucky that over the past number of years, since 2014, we've invested over $300 million in Kentucky. Nobody knows better but the folks here in this room how hot bourbon and American whiskey is right now. So when it's time to figure out where and how we were going to support Diageo's Kentucky bourbon growth for the future, we had lots of ambitions of where we were going to go. And we looked at a number of sites across the state. Ultimately, we decided on Lebanon and Marion County was the right place to invest another $130 million. By building our new distillery here in Lebanon and Marion County, we will have access to incredible local resources. For example, our barrel supplier, Independent Stave, is less than 4 miles away. We have a grain supplier, Central Kentucky Grain, is actually located adjacent to the property, right over there, you can see. With the investment over the next 3 years, this project will bring 30 jobs to the area, and over 100 men and women will be working on this site as we do the construction. We feel fortunate to have been welcomed to the community in both Lebanon and Marion County. And you know, when you do a project like this, there's a lot of people to be thankful for. So I'm going to read off my list. The Kentucky Economic Development Finance Authority, Kentucky Governor Matt Bevin, Lebanon County Mayor Gary Crenshaw, Marion County Judge Executive David Doherty, State Senator Jimmy Higdon, State Representative Brandon Reed, Executive Director of Marion County Industrial Foundation Tom Lund, City Manager John Thomas, and the team at Intercounty Energy. And thank you to all of you that have showed up today to celebrate with us. As we break ground on the Diageo Lebanon Distillery, we are one step closer to a fantastic Kentucky bourbon together that we will produce here in Marion County. And now, let me introduce you to our head of manufacturing and distillation, one of my colleagues, Mr. Perry Jones.
Good morning, and thank you guys for coming out to be with us today. Today marks a significant milestone in what is a very important project for Diageo. This project will enable us to support our growth ambition in the Kentucky bourbon and American whiskey categories. In the coming months, you will begin to see a state-of-the-art facility take shape. It will ultimately include a distillery, a dry house, and 12 warehouses. And I'm pleased to report today that we are on schedule for construction, and our goal is to begin distilling in 2021. Now, while I'm certainly proud of what we make here at Diageo, I'm also proud of who we are as a company. So our Diageo North American manufacturing vision is to be the global benchmark for manufacturing, and we deliver exceptional value through empowered people. So one of the backbones of our entire vision is really bringing to life how we get things done and making sure that people are at the center of everything we do. We are committed to operating in a responsible and sustainable way every day, everywhere. We strive to use natural resources responsibly, and we're working to reduce carbon, packaging, water, and waste in all of our operations and throughout our entire supply chain. And we commit to you, and I repeat, we commit to you that we bring that thoughtful, ambitious approach to everything we do here at the Diageo Lebanon Distillery. And I said Lebanon, N-U-N, Mr. Mayor. They made me practice that all night, so I got it right here. You know, Eric spoke about the investment Diageo is making here and the contribution to the local economy. When we announced the project back in December, our goal was to hire as many Kentucky-based companies as possible. And I am pleased to announce to you today that Kentucky's own Grace Construction is working with us on this project, and we look forward to partnering with them to bring the Diageo Distillery online. So we have Grace Construction represented here too, so we thank you guys. I'd also like to take a moment to thank the Diageo project team, many of whom are here in attendance today. This team has put in many long hours to make this project a reality, and I just want to say, guys, you got it over the finish line, and we definitely appreciate it. But now I'd like to invite up to talk, and I think you guys saw the handsome guy walk in the room today, the Mayor of Lebanon, Mr. Gary Crenshaw. And what I want to say is he's done a great job with us from day one to make this a reality. So I want to introduce Mr. Crenshaw to come up and say a few words. Thank you, sir.
Perry, as you bring other folks in from around the world, you've got the pronunciation almost right. You've got to leave the A out as well and pronounce it Lebanon.
Hey, I'm getting better. Thank you, sir.
I told him to say that about me being handsome, and he did, so it's official. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome our state officials and the officials from Diageo, from the top to the bottom, and all the people that they have brought in to work with on this project. I want to give my gratitude to the Lebanon City Council for their participation in moving this project forward. I am grateful for the leadership of Freddie Higdon as our Economic Development Chairman of the Board, and in particular, a gentleman who I admire and who I seek counsel from, and who has as much as anybody, if not more, put Lebanon on the map and made them a global community here in Central Kentucky. And that's Tom Lund. Tom, thank you very much. It takes a lot of partners to make things like this happen. As you all know, most of you have done this and other projects. We must not forget that as we progress, we need to keep that engine going. We cannot let up. We must continually improve our community to make events like this possible, because the competition is tough and it's hard, and things won't always go as well as they have with this Diageo project. So I'm extremely grateful to the elected officials and to economic development, to the city of Lebanon, and I am just very humbled at the expression of partnership, compromise, and dedication to making something go right, doing it well, and being first class. Now it's my pleasure to introduce somebody that I consider a friend, a partner, and somebody who dedicates their time and energies towards the betterment of this community in ways that people just don't know. He's a great guy, very talented, very smart. It's my pleasure to introduce Judge David Daugherty.
I asked Gary to say those things as well. Thank you, Mayor. A good day for a county judge in a daily routine is to hear that a company like Diageo is interested in coming to your community. A great day is today. We're here. So I just want to thank Diageo for following up and being here today, and appreciate the opportunities that you're going to bring to the people of Marion County. You know, it's just a great opportunity for the whole community. I'd like to thank the people at Economic Development. Tom Lund has done a phenomenal job here with us on this project, and appreciate all his help. The team from Diageo have been great working with those guys as well. Darian Thompson with the water company, I do appreciate all the help he's given us here on this project. Again, I'd like to thank Marion County Fiscal Court. Without them, we couldn't do a lot of things we do in this community, and they've supported everything we've done. I'd like to thank the mayor for being a good friend and supporting me in some issues that sometimes are hard to support. So I really do appreciate his help. And like I say, today is just a great day. You know, you hear about all these projects and you work hard and you work hard and you come in second. We finally come in first. So we really do appreciate you coming to Marion County, and if there's anything we can do to help you, we'll be here to help you. Thank you very much. I've been county judge for this is going on my 5th year, and there's a gentleman that's right upstairs from my office, and I confide in him on a daily basis, and I'm going to introduce him today. He's been a great leader and great advice, and just somebody I respect tremendously, Mr. Tom Lund.
I told him to say that. I'm the complaint department. I walked in this morning and Senator Higdon jumped all over me. He said he didn't get the memo and he had to wear a necktie today and nobody else had a necktie on. So Tom Nyheisel, you missed sending a memo to our judge. And Tom, I'm going to mention one more time, we worked on Project Workhorse for just about a year, and my board and our associates know this as Project Workhorse, but now it's called Diageo Lebanon Distillery, and very proud that everyone is here today. I'd like to say you're actually standing here on sacred ground. This behind us here for years was the site of the governor's dove hunt. Now, the governor never came, he never showed up, but we sent him an invitation, so we always call it the governor's dove hunt. So, but anyway, the Marion County Industrial Foundation purchased this property in the year 2000. Shortly after that, it was obtained by Keystone Foods out of Philadelphia and Lopez Foods out of Oklahoma City, and they were going to make the McDonald's chicken sandwich here. I don't know if you remember in the Olympics just after 2000, it was advertised significantly, and they were going to build that sandwich right out here. The economy went south, so the Industrial Foundation got the property back again, and in the interim, what happened was the Commonwealth of Kentucky put in a lot of resources, a lot of utilities. They put in a 20-inch water line, help us fund that. A 16-inch water line, help us fund that. They helped us extend this 2154. This is our Lebanon bypass here. They helped us extend this into our industrial parks. And they built this street here, helped us build this street we're standing on here as an access road. So what we had was a area that had a tremendous amount of advanced infrastructure. And I like to mention, you know, the first day I was Economic Development Director here in Marion County, we had a dedication of Fagan Branch Reservoir, and it's over here in the Knobs. Incidentally, for out-of-town visitors, I had somebody in my office the other day and said, what are those mountains called? Well, those mountains are actually, in central Kentucky, we call them the Knobs. So, Fagan Branch Reservoir, a 1 billion-gallon water storage facility, sits right behind that knob up there. And after that, we were able to convince the Lebanon Water Company to build a water line between here and the Green River watershed, which is in Taylor County. And that little house you see down there, that's the termination of that particular water line. So I was very impressed with Lebanon and how they were anxious to see this community grow and how they were anxious to invest in utilities. And I think that's the reason that Diageo is here today. And I remember Tom Nyheisel and I, the first time we met, I talked to him on the telephone. I said, I'll meet you at the intersection of our bypass in 208. Well, the day we got there, Atmos Energy was building a high-pressure gas line right through our parking lot there, so we couldn't find a place to park. And that's another thing that Diageo needed, was a high-pressure gas line. So, and then I need to mention, in a moment of desperation, we allowed Central Kentucky Grain to build these silos here. I shouldn't say desperation. I just do that because of our relationship with Mr. Boone over there. But anyway, we had everything that Diageo needed here. We had the water resources. The state also helped us put a sewer system in, 12-inch sewer line across the street. And we had the grain storage, and so it was a natural, and if I was on the search committee, Tom, I would have, when we pulled up out there, I said, Tom, there's no need to look any further. This is your spot. They were looking at some 260 different locations at that time across the Commonwealth. But then I started thinking that's probably why Diageo came here, and probably we were what Diageo needed, but what does Lebanon need Diageo for? And I started thinking about that. What does Lebanon need Diageo for? And ever since we met, and ever since we started these negotiations, Diageo's talked about our environment. There go my notes. Sorry about that. Talked about the environment and how pristine this area is and how they wanted to preserve this area. And we talked about hauling grain from those silos to a distillery, and they talked about using electric trucks. And I was so impressed. This is a company that's concerned about the environment. That's why we need them here in Marion County. They are concerned about these hills and these knobs. And so we were so impressed with their interest in the environment. And when they talk about 30 employees, 30 people, that's not too many people. But Diageo, and when you study Diageo, they're so concerned about their professional and personal development of their workforce. And that was another thing that really impressed us about Diageo. And what they're going to do for our agricultural sector, I think that's an amazing point, because these farmers here, they're hard to help. Agriculture people are hard to help, Joe, you know that. They're so damn independent, you can't hardly help them. But anyway, our agricultural sector is certainly going to benefit, and that's a great blessing for us. And of course, Brad Boswell, Brad, raise your hand there, right up the block making barrels, employing 500 of our local people, and certainly a positive thing there. And another thing that Diageo did that I was so impressed with is they took the high road. When it came to taxes and payment of taxes, they took the high road. And our county and our city are going to certainly benefit from that. So we certainly thank Diageo for everything they've done for our community. I'm not a historian, and I've heard some people mention it, but in 1785, Basil Hayden built a distillery out in Holy Cross, which is here in Marion County, on a deep water creek. And that started a tradition of bourbon distilling in this community. Several followed. We had Shinley's here, some of the rest of them, John. But Brown and Foreman was here. Of course, Maker's Mark is here. Then we had a Rolling Fork distillery, and several other distilleries. We got, I'm sorry? Samuels, yeah, okay, Bill Samuels. Anyway, this county has a great tradition in bourbon and distilling, and we're proud. We're proud. We as a city, we as a county, and we as the citizens of Marion County can stand here today and welcome Diageo into our community. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you for those nice words, and thank you, Mayor and Judge, for your words and for yielding most of your time to Tom. This is the end of the official part of the program. We are now going to ask the speakers to come up. We're going to get your hard hat and the shovel. We'll do some photo ops. For those, after we get those photos, if anybody else would like to come up and have a photo op done with the shovels, we have photographers that are going to do that as well. In the meantime, while these photos are taking place, be sure that you get a Bullet Bourbon cocktail back there. I think they're making BLTs, which are outstanding. We've got the food and refreshments from Smokey D's that they don't want to pack up and take back, and I want to stay away from the donut hole, so somebody else please eat those. And then if you RSVP'd to attend this, which I presume most of you did, you should have an engraved bullet bottle commemorating today's dedication and groundbreaking. If you can't find yours, let one of us know, and we'll make sure that we're able to get you one, but hopefully they will all be there. And then Kevin, thank you for holding up the renderings. We encourage all of you after we do the photos to come over and take a closer look. If you have any questions, we have a few people here who might be able to answer some of those questions.
I'm here with Eric Snyder, who is the president for North American Supply and Procurement for Diageo. We're here for the groundbreaking that we just had for the new facility that's going to be here in Lebanon. And tell us, when can we expect to see the facility completed?
Yeah, we'll finish up around 2021 is when we expect to actually making liquid.
Okay, fantastic. Now, what can people expect to see here at the new Lebanon distillery?
Yeah, I mean, we're really excited to be here. We will have a distillery here, we will have a dry house, and we will have about 12 warehouses on site as well.
Now, you're going to have about 30 employees, you were saying, right? What kind of jobs are we looking at for that?
Yeah, there'll be distillation operators, there'll be folks that work in our warehouses, folks that run the dry house, so a number of different types of jobs we'll bring to the community.
Fantastic. Now, also, we were talking about before when they were doing the presentation, it's not going to actually be for tours and stuff of that nature, right? It's going to be actually for making the product. Is that right?
Yeah, as you may know, we have tours that we do in Shelbyville and also in Louisville. It's Sitzelweller. So here it's really focused on making that great bourbon liquid for us.
And what products do you expect to be making here?
Yeah, I mean, we've got a number of products that we have in Diageo's portfolio. Bullet, which of course is the biggest, but also I.W. Harper and Blade & Bow, but certainly Bullet will be the biggest of those.
And you talked about in the groundbreaking too that you're going to be utilizing some of our local businesses to possibly make some of that products, like one of your neighbors.
Yeah, look, I think great news is Independent Stave is right up the road. It's great that we have, a grain distillery or a grain elevator right next to us. And, we like to operate and use folks in our local community.
So in several years from now, we might be seeing bottles all around the world that say, made in Lebanon, Kentucky, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one of the really great things about Diageo is we operate at 180 countries around the world. So, it's feasible that, 5-6 years from now, you could be seeing a bottle that was produced in Lebanon, Kentucky, in any of those countries.
Thank you very much, and welcome to the community, and hopefully you're saying about March of 2021, we hope to have it completed.
Yeah, we'll say 2021 for now. We've got a lot of work to do, as you can see, but we're super excited to be in the community and look forward to getting to know everybody here.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thank you.